Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to buckle your seatbelts because today's video is going to be something you guys probably weren't expecting. So I wanted to kind of inform you guys on the new update that Monster Legends went ahead and kind of made, and not a lot of players actually know about it because they didn't really post a post about it. They didn't make any type of announcements or anything like that. So I kind of wanted to make this video to let everybody know what's going on. So for those of you guys that actively play this game and basically look forward towards the dungeons, basically what ML did, before I actually get into it, huge thanks to everybody that went ahead and left a comment on my previous video letting me know that this is actually happening, that this is going on, and I should actually make a video on it. So here you guys go, the video, this is going to be the one where I kind of cover this up for you guys. So take a look at this. If we head over towards the dungeon, the resource dungeon specifically, look at this, guys. So we have obviously the food dungeon, which is normal. I think they went ahead and increased this. I might be wrong. You guys can let me know in the comments down below. But I don't really play the food dungeon. What I do play sometimes here and there is the gems dungeon, which we'll actually get into. That's the most important. I think they did make an update with the runes dungeon. I can't tell, but look at this, guys. The gems dungeon, they decreased the gems by so much. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but the gems dungeon used to be around 27 gems. I might be wrong, actually. I know it's around 20s though. So it used to be around 20s, and they basically went ahead and brought it down to 5 gems. That is a huge decrease. Now that's just for the easy dungeon. Now imagine the medium and hard. I hope they didn't actually make any changes towards those, and I hope they kept it the same. But even then, why change the easy dungeon? I doubt that they actually went ahead and kept it the same. I feel like what they probably did was, so the gems dungeon is now down to 5 gems. The medium dungeon, what a lot of players are actually saying right now, is that it might actually be around 10 gems, and then the hard dungeon basically continue down to 15 or 20 gems. So that's basically the huge update that a lot of players are talking about. And they did, I'm pretty sure, I'm 90% sure they went ahead and actually nerfed the runes dungeon as well. But a lot of players were saying that they were basically getting a lot of runes from this, and now they're basically barely getting any. So unfortunately the runes dungeon, I believe, also got a nerf, but this is the most important part. I feel like this is what upset a lot of players. Now for those of you guys that are saying this isn't a big deal, now think about it this way, okay? Hold on, let me actually word this in a different way, okay? Let's say, and I know this is a silly comparison and you guys are gonna be probably gonna laugh at this, but anyways, let's say you're working for a minimum wage job, right? Let's say you have a job right now. For those of you guys that work, right, you go to work every day, you get yourself, let's say, whatever the minimum amount of payment is in whatever state you guys live in, but I believe here it's 16-15 bucks. Let's say $16, right? $16 an hour. Let's say your manager, basically, which is SP, they're basically making you work every single day, the same amount of hours, everything stays the same in the working environment, but they decide to bring your minimum hourly payment from $16 down to $10 an hour. Obviously you're going to be upset, right? Now that is how a lot of free-to-play players are actually feeling about this update. Now to kind of show it to you guys, I went ahead and head over to the Monster Legends community Facebook page and take a look at this. Well, the most recent video, which was 37 minutes ago, it actually got some angry reactions, and that might be normal. Obviously I don't see any comments at the moment, but take a look at this one. This was posted 3 days ago, which obviously yesterday they went ahead and kind of made the update in a way. I'll explain a little more later on, but there's 62 comments left right now. Somebody named Mary said, hopefully everyone who is unhappy with the removal of the gems dungeon will voice their displeasure through the game support. And as you used to say, there's a good amount of likes that people went ahead and liked. But if we head over to the comments and let's just do all comments, for example, take a look at this. Where did gems dungeon go? Make a post about this, please, SP. Someone named Chazelle said it. And then we have another person saying, where are my gem dungeons? You're going to lose a lot of long-term players if you're going to get rid of them. Now keep in mind, this was posted 19 hours ago, you know what I mean, a day ago or whatever. The most recent comments are basically about the 5 gem dungeon, how it got nerfed, but then the remaining comments that was posted almost a day ago are basically saying, where are the gem dungeons? Because in case you guys didn't know, what they ended up doing was they basically didn't release the gem dungeon until today. So what they did instead was they released this monster epic cell or monster epic egg dungeon, where if you complete the dungeon you get a free epic monster. And let me put it to you guys this way. So basically, epic monsters are basically kind of useless if you think about it. Kind of, not really, not entirely. I know they still have some purpose. For example, you can use them in breeding events and get legendary monsters, or use them towards like you know, monster like races, like marathons and stuff like that, or collection purposes, for example, right? But take a look at this. If we actually, oh, there's not any breeding events going on. Is that what's going on? Oh, there is. Okay, so there is a breeding event going on. But anyways, my point is, like, you can only use those epic monsters mainly for, you know, getting yourself these legendary monsters, and they're for collection purposes as well. Because you guys know what happened was, originally, what a lot of you guys actually don't know is that when they went ahead and released mythic monsters, the first time they actually released it, and this is back in Armor Claw era, right? So Armor Claw, Cat UFO, and whatever other monster they ended up releasing, original mythics, basically when they released and they made the whole announcement when they went from legendary to mythic, a lot of players did quit around that time, because obviously that was like a huge like step for ML, for Social Point, right? So basically when they made that update, what happened was that the mythics became the new like most powerful monsters, and then legendaries became one step below, because before legendaries used to be up here, and then when mythics got released, they went ahead and went up here one step above them. And what happened was the legendaries technically became the new epic monsters, the epic monsters became the new rares, the rares became the uncommon, and then uncommon to common. But then if you think about it, they also went ahead and released ancestral monsters recently. So ancestrals are the most powerful monsters in the game. I'm sure you guys do know that. So ancestrals are basically all the way up here, then it's mythics, legendary, epic, and whatever. So epics are technically the new rare monsters, right? So they're not really that good. They're not as usable as you think they are. Yes, for starter players, I'm talking about like really early on, yes, they're good, but later on obviously they're going to switch up. They're not going to use those epic monsters anymore. If we continue to read about basically the comments, take a look at this. Someone went ahead and said, where is the gems dungeon? And a lot of people went ahead and liked it, because this was a day ago. Like I said, a day ago, which was yesterday, they didn't really release the gem dungeon. I'm talking about the easy gem dungeon, so they didn't even know that they nerfed it. These are people that commented this yesterday, which again, gem dungeon wasn't out, and what they saw in game was, instead of the gem dungeon, they saw like an epic monster egg dungeon. Basically, someone said, bring back the gem dungeon. Where do we get to voice this? What happened to the dungeons? There are no runes, no diamonds. Why did you remove the dungeon from the legendary jewel? Please put the dungeon back. Basically another word for gems. Someone went ahead and said this 2 hours ago. Are you kidding us? The old easy dungeon was 27. Okay, so I was right, 27 gems, not 5. Wow, you really gotten cheap. No gem dungeon, what a joke. No more of my money. So people are even like, stop. They're kind of like boycotting the game right now, not spending money, possibly even quitting. Someone even went ahead and said buy Monsters community, and posted like a screenshot of their ML deleting the game. And I bet that in the Monsters community group, they're definitely saying something about the dungeons here as well. Yeah, take a look at this. I didn't even have to scroll too much. 3 minutes ago from Leslie. Do you think about this new dungeon? Oh, what do you think about this new dungeon? Do you like it or not? If not, please report it to SP. So yeah, not another player that's not happy about this. Amon went ahead and said Thursday easy, 5 gems, and then basically the remaining medium and hard. He's kind of trolling here, obviously, but you guys get it. A lot of people are obviously angry about this. Haas said he posted this 58 minutes ago, so I deleted my game and reported it 1 star for some reasons, and one of the reason is that they removed the gem dungeon. Obviously they didn't really completely remove it, they just nerfed it by a lot, and I believe this is like the new kind of like schedule. I might be, I don't know if they actually already updated this, but it seems kind of correct. I mean, look, Thursday gems, food, and rune dungeon, and that's what's going on right now. So Friday it's gonna be gold, gems, and food dungeon, and I want to see another gem dungeon is gonna be Saturday. Ren went ahead and said wow. Obviously a lot of players are not happy. Like I said, anonymous member posted this an hour ago. Oh, I agree, it's a failure in the development. Why it says they gave me 5 gems. Okay, yeah, so in case you guys didn't know, in the game when you actually actually enter, let me actually show you guys. If you head over to the resource dungeon, take a look at this. There's a gems easy dungeon and it says 5 gems, but if you take a look at it at the end, it only shows 3 gems, right? You don't see the other 2 gems. I think what it is that maybe on node 9 or 7 there might be a gem there, 1 or 2 gems hidden. We could probably actually test this out by actually going into these battles and just autoing it out and basically completing it this way. So let's say we beat this one. By the way, the other 2 attacks I did for first and second, I didn't actually obtain any gems, just to let you guys know. Some of you guys are probably wondering that. Okay, yeah, so let's take a look at this. On room 5 or node 5, which is basically halfway through. So if you complete halfway through, you're basically going to get your first 2 gems, and then the remaining gems are right there on node 10. So yeah, you're going to be getting the 2 gems, don't worry. But again, you're going from 27 gems down to like 5 gems, and that is really bad. Like back then you're able to get a lot of gems. Now you're barely getting any, which sucks. So again, this was like a huge income from for like, you know what I mean, starter players, for example. And I believe they did change this. Look at this. They went ahead and added like stamina points, XPs. Are you kidding me? This is crazy. I never thought they would actually add in XPs and stamina points. I mean, stamina points I understand, but XPs, are you kidding me? How low are you going, SP? Come on. I personally am upset about this as well. Although, to be fair, I didn't really participate in the gems dungeon as much as you guys have, but still, like, this is bad. This is really bad. So yeah, like I said, a lot of you guys went ahead and left those comments on my recent video telling me to check out this new dungeon and make a video on it possibly to inform the community, and I went ahead and did. So thank you for those comments, everybody that actually left those comments. I really appreciate it. You know, huge shout out to you guys. But another thing I just want to say is that basically, if you are upset about this update and you don't really like it, I think what you can do is basically for you to kind of be a part of this is that you can go in game and go through the support and basically just, you know, shout your voice, basically let them know why you need this gem dungeon to kind of like revert back to original, why you need the gems and how it actually helps you as a player to progress in the game. Obviously, going from 27 gems to 5 gems is pretty bad, and we don't know much about the medium gem dungeon. It could be 10 gems like I said, and hard dungeon could possibly 15. That's what a lot of players are saying right now on Discord, on Facebook and stuff like that. So maybe it's true, maybe it's not. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I personally don't really like this update. I've got to say, it definitely affects a lot of players, and obviously they're going to be losing a lot of players as well and a lot of spenders in the game. I mean, I'm sure you guys have noticed, right, in the past when they went ahead and updated the dungeon for the resource dungeon, right? Take a look at this. If we head over to the ancestral dungeon, I think it is. Nope, it's not that one. The Caverns of Ancestration. So they obviously, this is still the same, right? Yeah, that stayed the same. Take a look at that. You know, 100 North berries or whatever. These are a bit high, obviously. But in the past, remember the Titan dungeon when they first released that? It was like 450 Ludums back in like corrupted era, and basically there was ways to actually beat that every day and get like a bunch of like resources out of it. And then they thought that was super easy for players to actually obtain, so they went ahead and nerfed it. You know what I mean? They brought it down even more, and then eventually I think it's gone now, so those aren't even a thing in the game anymore. Another thing was there were dungeons for I believe like rank ups, where there was one, I believe it was for everybody, like all the monsters. You can literally use any of the elements like from any era, which was kind of cool. And then they went ahead and nerfed that too, and they just nerfed it pretty badly, and a lot of players obviously didn't like it. So unfortunately, they didn't really bring anything back with that, but they did. I'm seeing right now, they actually did kind of update that and kind of like bumped up those resources a little bit. So that's a 75, obviously. But if you take a look at this other one, you know, 100, 125, and so on. So these aren't actually that bad, to be fair. But Era Sagas, I mean, this could be next. You know, the Era Sagas, this actually might be next, where they might actually nerf the, you know, dungeons with these. So in the hard dungeon, I'm not sure if the easy dungeon gives you any gems. It actually, yeah, it does give you 20 gems. Okay, so there's 20 gems, 15 gems. This might be the new way to actually farm gems, but like all the other ones, you know, any of these, they might actually get nerfed. And I don't want to give any ideas to Social Point, but I feel like they might actually take this route where they might actually nerf the Era Sagas next. So like I said, if you're unhappy about this, head over to in-game settings and let them know, or even go on Discord and go in, I guess, their Discord server or Facebook or whatever it is. Just go ahead and basically let them know why you actually need these gem dungeons to be reverted. But yeah, that's basically pretty much it. I wanted to basically make this video to inform you guys and, you know, update everybody on what's going on. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure you drop a like and subscribe, share it with any of your friends that didn't know about this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.